Hello everyone, this is SWTOR Snoopy here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about why I main Commando. Now, since playing SWTOR, I've played a Commando almost exclusively. No matter how many ults I have, this is the one class and character I'm almost always on. So, I decided that I would explain what caused me to gravitate towards the class. This video won't quite have a set structure or talking points like some of my other videos. I'm just going to be jumping right into the discussion and explaining what comes to mind. Anyways, that's all I have for this intro, so I hope you guys enjoy, and let's jump right into this discussion. Alrighty guys, let's get into this discussion right now. So why I main the Commando? So this answer is pretty straightforward, not much to it. I saw the Star Wars Republic Trooper progression video that was uploaded to YouTube. This was released back near the launch of the game itself. And in this progression, they showed the two advanced classes, which are Vanguard and Commando. And I saw that the Commando had a big heavy assault rifle, and I thought that was pretty cool. And also, not only that, I didn't really want to be a character with a lightsaber. So I guess you could say that was the main reason that I actually gravitated towards this class. It wasn't really a factor of what the class could do, whether he was DPS, tanks, or heals. It was just mainly due to the fact that I wanted to try something cool, and I also thought that it would be cool to have an assault cannon and to try and destroy a bunch of robots and or enemies. So, it should also be noted that Star Wars Republic is technically my first MMO, and it's been mainly my only MMO. I know that I don't really talk about this often, but I really didn't look into the MMO landscape as in kind of deciding on DPS, heals, or tanks. I know that people have many different reasons for picking a class, but my reason I feel like is pretty simplistic. But I really didn't know too much going into it, what I was going to expect, but I was just excited to see what happens. So I played through the class. I decided to just jump around different things, and I saw that you could be a DPS and or a healer. And I feel like I just kind of gravitated towards the gunnery spec, because I saw that they had this ability called Grav Round. And back then, it was kind of a meme to just, of course, just spam Grav Round. I thought it was really funny to just see players in PvP war zones just spamming this one ability constantly, and it was doing a bunch of damage and messing with the player's armor. So I was like, hey, I'm a Commando, I'm going to go gunnery, and that's what I'm going to stick to. And that's really what it has been since. So since that point, I've decided to main the Commando class, and more specifically, I've decided to just main gunnery itself. So that was the basic answer to the question, but I do want to address something as well that I know that some players have asked me in the past, is why I stick to one class rather than ults. Or rather, a more specific and detailed question is, do I really change to different characters and or tunes depending on if they nerf the class and or buff it? And to really answer that, I've just mainly liked sticking to one character just because I feel like it's easier to organize. That's not to say that I do have ults that I play besides Commando. That is pretty present by, for example, my Sharpshooter Gunslinger PvP series. I still, of course, do play, different characters and or tunes. But I've stuck with the Commando as I felt like it was pretty simple to manage the one specific character. And also, I just really liked playing this one class and focusing it, on it very heavily. So that's one thing right there. And then when it comes down to buffs and or nerfs, I don't really get too bothered about them. I know that a lot of people, of course, want to see their class do well, and I, perfectly agree that your class should be doing well inside the game. But at the same time, I know that there are some players that don't really like to stick to one class, as sometimes things get buffed, or things get nerfed as well, and people just like to flip-flop around. But personally, I'm not too bothered by the changes. Of course, I do want the Commando Advanced class to succeed, but if they do make some changes, I've stuck with this Advanced class for such a long time that I really don't want to change now. And not only that, I feel like there's kind of a bond to it. I've been throughout all the years of playing SWTOR, I've stuck with the Commando class, and I've stuck with this particular tune that I don't think I would ever really change from it. So that's the main answer to that question. But besides that, I mean, this class has been just really my thing in SWTOR. I haven't really gone through other classes. There wasn't at one point where I decided, hey, I'm going to switch classes. I'm done with the Commando. I've just stuck through everything throughout the whole entire game. And that's just been that. It's kind of interesting, though, because I know that there are a lot of different players out there from different gaming backgrounds. But as mentioned, I wasn't really the MMO player myself. So I wasn't really focused on how the different classes played. I just really wanted to pick a class that didn't use a lightsaber, and not only that, something that looked pretty cool, and I decided the Commando was the best choice for me, and that's just really how it's gone since then. I mean, I've played through the game in a lot of different aspects, whether it has been with PvP operations, etc. I've just stuck with this, and I don't plan on changing. Now, I'll be the first to admit that being able to self-heal DPS and have all these different defensives did solidify my choice with picking the Commando and sticking with it. I would be lying if that didn't keep me, enticed with the class, because I thought that all that different stuff was really cool to be able to do as one particular character. But I think this whole entire discussion, while it's been pretty short, has allowed me to reminisce on the past and to really look at why I picked the Commando itself. It's kind of funny in the same time because it's one of those classes that I don't really think about. It was kind of a choice that kind of went by instinct. I didn't thoroughly look through all the classes and say, okay, this is the one I'm maining. I just feel like it's something that I decided to jump towards. And I think that some players can relate to this, that it's one of those classes that I thought would be pretty cool to play, and it's the main reason that I've stuck with it. And the same can be said for a mercenary, as this is, a mercenary is the alternate, the Imperial side of the Commando. The only difference is that they have two nice little blaster pistols, whereas the Commando has an assault cannon. And I wasn't really focused on that. I just thought that it would be cool to be this class that had the heavy assault cannon, could do all this different stuff just completely alone, and that was just my main reason for picking it. And since then, I've had a very fun time picking the Commando and sticking with it. No matter if there's nerfs and or buffs, I feel like this is something that's a part of my SWTOR identity, I guess you could say. But hey, I mean, this is my reasoning for maining the Commando. Probably not the best, I'd say, explanation. I know that a lot of people have different reasons for why they pick a class. But hey, this is my main reason for picking it. And I feel like in this discussion, I'm starting to get into the rambling section where I just go on and on. So I think this is the best point to end off this discussion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion of me talking about why I main a Commando. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.